Last question today is from Quinn. Quinn says, what are you shocked about that people actually buy on a regular basis or ever? Okay. DVDs, I don't understand buying DVDs at this point. Basically, most things are available online. The things that aren't, I would probably get, like if I had to, I would maybe try to get it from a library where you can rent a DVD. I have about 50 DVDs from when I used to have a DVD collection. I've not added to it for maybe 8 or 10 years. And I don't plan on buying any more DVDs. And to be perfectly honest, I'm thinking about getting rid of the ones I have. I don't really get building a DVD collection at this point.
Right. I think people just buy it because they like the idea of having something tangible. If it's on your computer, you can't really see it. You can't really show it off as well.
Yep.
They like the idea of collecting something.
Yep. I think that's definitely a big part of it. And that's part of the vinyl movement. People that like getting vinyl with the cover art and the lyrics and whatnot. You can just listen to whatever song you want on Spotify. I don't know the value of having these physical records around, but people do like it.
Oh, absolutely. And for my answer, I would say something like iced coffee, where you buy this thing every day. And, $3 a day, it doesn't seem like much, but that adds up to $1,000 over the course of a year.
And for me, it's not so much the iced coffee, but it's like the dessert Frappuccino type drinks that have, the sugar syrups and the whipped cream and the all the different stuff. Going out and getting one of those. I know people who get those 4 or 5 times a week. And from a financial perspective, hey, if you can afford it and it doesn't bother you that's going to be a $1,000 to $3,000 habit, I guess, over the course of a year, all power to you. That's fantastic. I'm sure you're saving a lot of money for retirement and then using the excess to buy these Frappuccinos, obviously. But from a health standpoint, I also don't get it. I feel like people think, oh, I'm having a Frappuccino. It's the same as having a cup of coffee or an espresso in the morning. Yeah, no, that's not the case at all. You're basically having dessert every single morning.
Right, and there's the whole aspect of that it's caffeine, right? So you're just buying into this drug addiction every day, which is, not too harmful and socially acceptable. Cigarettes are phasing out at this point, but there's a lot of vices people are still on.
With regard to purchasing cars, I still am surprised when people buy those extra services like they don't call it rustproofing anymore. I know that it's like satirical almost to say, do you want the extra rustproofing? But there is some treatment of the paint that is offered, and it was offered to me, not with my most recent lease, but I think the previous one. And my answer was, are you telling me that unless I pay extra to treat the paint, the factory paint on the car isn't even good enough to last 3 years? And usually the finance manager at that point will say, well, no, it's not that I'm saying that, but it's that, because of the environment, and if you park under a tree and the sap and acid rain and hail, whatever. Yeah, I'm not buying the paint protection on the vehicle or whatever else it is that's being offered. I do get surprised when people buy some of those things. And also I get surprised when people buy the extra warranty on a new car that comes with a 5-year warranty. And very often it's not even extending the warranty. Very often it's the warranty the manufacturer warranty doesn't cover everything. So we sell an extra warranty that really does. And typically when you do the math on what you're paying and what extra coverage you get, it doesn't really make sense. And this is coming from someone who made 40% of my income when I worked at Circuit City from selling warranties. I can assure you, over the long term, the warranty is not meant to save you money. The math of it is that it's usually cheaper over the very long term to sort of self-insure. Now, with health insurance, which is effectively sort of a warranty on your health, the potential cost of expensive medical treatment is so high that only the very richest Americans would say, hey, you know what? If I end up needing to spend $250,000 on medical treatment, I can afford it. Doesn't really make sense, right? Does make sense for most people to have health insurance. I've never bought a warranty on any electronics, period, right? So the 8 laptops I've had since I was 14, every single time I could have spent $200 on a warranty or $5 a month on my cell phone or whatever. I never have. A few years ago, I dropped my phone. It broke. I had to go out and spend $250 for a new screen. The $250 was way less than had I been paying thousands of dollars in warranties over a very long period of time. So I remain convinced that on most, as I punch my mic there, on most electronics, buying warranties doesn't really make sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, electronics or cars. I guess they figure if someone's going to spend $40,000 on a car, $50,000 on a car, they can probably squeeze a few extra $100 out of them on something like a warranty.
Yeah, although my point would be, if you're spending $40,000 or $50,000 on a car, it should probably come with a good enough warranty that you don't have to pay extra. That's my. I know that that's crazy, right? That's not. It doesn't make sense to a lot of car manufacturers, but that's sort of my view on it. Okay, those are some of my thoughts on what I'm always surprised at people spending money on. Send me some of yours, and we'll talk about this more on the bonus show if we get some good feedback from people. Speaking of which, we've got a great bonus show for you today. You can sign up and get instant access at davidpakman.com/membership, and we do have the 2017 David Pakman Show calendar, comic book, coloring book available with original artwork from David Pakman Show viewer Dan Burke. You can get the calendar for free with a yearly membership at davidpakman.com/calendar17. Check it out.